So starting the test drive out in the Encore GX. The CVT is so weird. It's kind of a good thing depending on how you like to drive, just because you don't have shift points to worry about. It just kind of goes because the transmission is always varying in terms of the speed. But yeah, I like the pull overall of the 1.2 3-cylinder, and I've said this, and I just did an Vista this morning I'm going to upload, and then I've had another Encore GX, that one being the ST I talked about earlier. I just like the feeling of this turbo, and it's crazy that a 3-cylinder engine puts out this much power, because when you think of 3 cylinders, you think of like older Geos or just itty-bitty cars that don't have any power whatsoever, but this is not the case. But this really shines when you're just cruising. Of course, you're gonna burn a little bit more gas giving it throttle using the turbo. But I mean, it pulls great. I'm gonna try and give it a little throttle if we get time. But I like that this one, even though it doesn't have the adaptive cruise control, we still have the distance indicator, so it shows me how far I am to the vehicle in front of me. So as I get closer to this van, you'll see it goes down to 0.7 seconds. And that's just the distance I have if this vehicle just all of a sudden hit the brakes. That's how long I have to stop. So great passing power, again, for a 1.2 liter 3-cylinder. And just a little bit of wind noise. It is windy outside now, so you might have been able to hear that earlier, but a great ride coming down the interstate here. Very level, very comfortable. And I'm actually surprised. I know this is a Buick, so I should expect this to ride like butter, but it's still, again, for this to be one of the more basic models, especially at this price point, at what, $26,000, $27,000, I'm just impressed with how well it's doing, just overall. The only thing I'd rather have is the 6-speed, but the CVTs really aren't bad. I just like being able to shift gears. It's just a thing for me. It's always been. But I have a Pacifica hybrid that has an eCVT, and that doesn't bother me at all. It's just, I like having a fun car. Not saying this isn't fun, but you know, I like being able to shift. Now in this space, there are a ton of competitors, just because this is kind of where people are wanting to be. They want a commuter car, but they want the space of an SUV, and these are kind of the happy mediums that you get. I mean, yeah, that's a great pull. But I think this is one of the nicer looking options, probably the nicest riding options, I think. Now, of course, you can get a Hornet, Kia Seltos, Hyundai Kona. There's so many different choices, but I like this one. But they're pretty much all these. I think this one might be built in Korea too. I know I just looked at the Vista, and I think it was like Korean and then maybe Chinese or something. But I mean, it's like 1%, 3% US built, which there's nothing wrong with that in my opinion. Of course, we want to keep as many jobs as possible here in America, but then you can't really get cars that are this inexpensive. It's just part of it. But I mean, in terms of a long-term vehicle, these 1.2 liters, people get worried about turbochargers going out, things of that nature. Now, this does have a lifetime powertrain warranty from Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro, and that allows you to have your engine, transmission, and the turbocharger covered. But I mean, if you maintain a vehicle like this, which I would hope you would, and you don't keep your foot in it, like I hope you wouldn't, you won't have that many issues out of these things. I mean, there's a reason that they're at this price point. The manufacturers don't want to have to fix the cars all the time under warranty, so if you are that worried about it, I recommend getting an extended warranty, maybe for like the radio or whatever. Again, if you have a place with a lifetime powertrain, you should be covered with anything you might be worried about. But I just don't see a lot of issues coming out of these that can't be either fixed under warranty or fixed inexpensively, just depending on where you go. But just in terms of my first impressions here, with this car only having 17 miles, it's pretty impressive for the price. And this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2024 Buick Encore GX in the preferred trim level.